Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Scuba. In today's video I am going to be talking about the Apeks dSMB. Now obviously I don't have one in front of me, but this video is basically going to break down all the interesting bits on it. So if you're thinking about getting one, then yeah, you're a bit more in the clue. Now obviously it's all due to sort of the what's going on. We can't sort of ship products backwards and forwards. We'd much rather them be in our warehouse so you guys can buy them. So they're available on the website. It's just we don't want to sort of ship them backwards and forwards and take them out of stock. But when they are when things are kind of back to normal, then yeah, I'll do another version of this with one in my hand so you can physically see and get a much sort of closer look at what I'm talking about. So taking a closer look at the Apeks dSMB, so the first thing is that it's 1.4 meters long. So it's a decent size, and what this means is that even if you are in sort of relatively high seas, it's still going to stick out and poke out above those waves, so you're hopefully going to be sort of seen much better. So starting up at the top of the dSMB, we have two brass eyelets. And what these mean is that you can use them for whatever you want really. But if you wanted to, you could attach some sort of bungee loops at the top, or sort of cable tie a glow stick or a torch or a strobe onto the top of it. So if you're diving at night, or if you really sort of want that to be a sort of better seen at a height above the water level, you can attach something onto that. Or you can also use it to sort of clip things off onto, and sort of clip the dSMB onto things is sort of multi-purpose. And because it's brass, of course, they're corrosion resistant. Now, this entire dSMB is made out of two separate pieces. So instead of one big sort of section of fabric that's folded over and then sort of taped and glued or sort of heat sealed, this one has two sort of pieces. So they have sort of complete coverage all the way around, which means that if you're folding a dSMB, that fold over time eventually starts to wear out and then it cracks. But because this is a two-part, it means you're not going to get that problem. So it's much better for you in the long run. Moving down the dSMB, you have a reflective section at the top, and this is solus tape, and this basically reflects light, and it makes that you are sort of much easier to be seen, especially if someone shines a torch in your direction, because it just sort of reflects light back at whoever's shining it, again, so you're a bit easier to sort of find in the water. Moving down from that, even the Apeks logo is put on with slightly reflective tape. So again, that kind of reflects back, again, making you a little bit easier to see. Going down the length down to the bottom, so the first thing you'll find is an overpressure valve. So this is just a one-way valve, so that when you inflate the dSMB, when you're at depth, as it's ascending, of course, the gas inside of it is going to start expanding. Because this is closed cell, so there's no actual opening at the bottom, that expanding gas needs to escape. So that's what that overpressure valve is for. So as it's shooting up, it's just releasing any excess gas. And then after you've used it, you can use that just to drain it and get any water out from it as well. Moving down, this is the inlet, and the inlet is where it's slightly different from most sort of delayed surface marker buoys that are on the market. Most of them will have a metal or a plastic nozzle, which is very similar to your BCD inflator nozzle, something that the hose attaches to. And but what a lot of scuba divers are doing, instead of using an actual inflator hose to inflate the dSMB, they actually orally inflate it, because your buoyancy doesn't change when you're doing it like that, because you're just transferring gas from your lungs to the dSMB. And they were complaining because of the metal fittings, it kind of hurts their teeth. So what Apeks have done is they fitted a silicone sort of mouthpiece to this section, and it's spring loaded. So all you do is you sort of put it up to your mouth, you then push it in a little bit, and then you can orally inflate it single-handedly. So one hand is holding onto the spool or the reel, and the other hand is holding onto the dSMB, so you can orally inflate it much, much easier. And then further down at the bottom, you have a stainless steel D-ring. This is about 2 inches across, so it's really good size. So attaching line is much easier, and sort of clipping it off onto a D-ring is very easy. And you also have an elastic loop with a big old tab on the bottom of it, so that when you're rolling it up, you have that sort of bungee loop just to keep it nice and neat. So it's a really smart dSMB. Apeks have really taken their time and taken all the sort of the best features, what people are actually looking for in a delayed surface marker Marker Buoy. It's obviously available in the reddy kind of orange kind of color for location marking. It's also available in yellow if you sort of need that, depending on sort of where you are. Some divers prefer yellow. Other divers, they have different meanings between red and yellow. But yeah, it's a very, very smart delayed surface marker buoy, the Apeks dSMB. These are available on the website. As ever, thank you for watching, and of course, safe diving.